When the Amazing World of Gumball aired its final episode, most of us didn't really know it was the end. It wasn't hyped as a series finale. There wasn't a tearful goodbye montage or a final bow. No press tour, no grand farewell.
Trust me. This is in your best interest.
Just an episode, a weird one that cuts off mid-sentence. And if you're like most fans, you probably laughed, maybe shrugged, maybe even thought, that's so Gumball. But here's the thing, it wasn't just a joke, not really. The more you look at it, the more you realize that Gumball's finale is quietly one of the most heartbreaking endings in modern animation.
In this episode. The episode starts with Principal Brown flipping out over the presence of the school superintendent, who plans on making the school better and hates all of them. I love this bit. He's basically...
Let's rewind. The episode is called The Inquisition. It starts with Richard, yes, the literal man-child of the Watterson family, getting a job as a janitor at Elmore Junior High. Already, that should be a red flag.
The end of the next renaissance.
You have 5 minutes to find me some modern textbooks.
Okay.
The vegetarian option is less ham.
This is going to change. Any questions regarding my authority will be severely punished. I am here to correct your outland.
But the weirdness ramps up fast. The school is suddenly under review by the Department of Education, which sends in an agent named Dick Tobias, a towering gray blob in a suit, who decides Elmore students are too abnormal.
Junior High, I've had enough of your cartoonish conduct. From here on, any abnormal behavior is to be corrected. Now get to class. No, the normal way.
He doesn't mean weird like wearing a cape or saying moo during math. He means weird as in too unique, too expressive, to themselves. So he begins a full-blown normalization process. Characters lose their personalities, their shapes change, their voices go flat. It's like watching beloved characters get erased right in front of you. Gumball, of course, fights back. With Darwin at his side, he stages a full rebellion. They rally the students, spark chaos, and expose Tobias as a fraud. The status quo is restored, or so it seems.
Join us, Darwin.
Sassy, are you sure you don't mean
Mayonnaise! What? Sassy said what? No.
kick his butt there?
No, Punchdown is never mind.
You fools! I did all this for a reason. Don't you understand what's going on in Elmore?
And then, just as things settle down, Gumball turns to camera and says, and next time, on, cut to black. No music, no credits, no fade out, just silence. It's meant to be funny, a punchline, but it lands like a slap. At first glance, it feels like classic Gumball. Break the fourth wall, mess with expectations, go out on a weird meta gag. That's the show's bread and butter. But here's what hurts. At the time of airing, there were rumors of a Gumball movie, a possible season 7, a continuation. So the next timeline felt like a wink, a cheeky promise that the story wasn't really over.
The Gumball drama is over. We just got new news of a new season.
Wait, when does it release?
Well, sooner than we think. So, Sean Henry, a content strategist season of Gumball, he revealed that the first episode will be called The Burger. And we're also finally gonna learn what's in the void.
Did they say how many episodes we're getting?
Except, it was. There was no next episode, no follow-up, no closure. Years went by. Updates were vague, rumors stalled, and slowly, that cliffhanger went from to be continued to this might actually be it.
Why did they stop me? Transformation is the only chance they have of escaping to the other place when this world... Oh no, it started.
And that's where the heartbreak sets in, because Gumball wasn't just cut off mid-sentence, he was cut off mid-life. And for a show that constantly played with time, reality, and self-awareness, ending without resolution feels like the most brutal twist of all. For a fan base that grew up with Gumball, it didn't feel like closure. It felt like being ghosted. Here's what's easy to forget about Elmore. It's never been a safe or grounded world. It's a surreal, unpredictable place where gravity doesn't matter. Logic bends on a dime, and emotional stakes can shift scene to scene. But even in that chaos, there was always one rule. Gumball talks through it. He jokes. He rants. He narrates the nonsense. His voice is the thread that stitches the madness together. So when the finale removes that voice, literally cuts him off mid-line, it feels wrong. Like the show is trying to tell us something deeper. Maybe the world doesn't reset this time. Maybe the joke doesn't land. Maybe there's no next episode. Maybe this time, the silence is the point. Because Gumball has always been a self-aware character in an unstable universe. And if you take away that awareness, if you silence it mid-thought, you're not just ending a cartoon. You're erasing a voice that knew it was a cartoon. And that's existentially chilling. If this ending hit you harder than you expected, you're not alone. Drop a comment with the moment you realize Gumball was saying goodbye, and hit that subscribe button if you're still emotionally recovering with the rest of us. Here's something a lot of fans overlook. Gumball's final season was quietly preparing us for the end the whole time. We just didn't realize it. Rewatch season 6 and you'll start to notice a pattern. The tone shifts, the humor gets darker, the episodes feel heavier. Not in a dramatic way, but in that subtle, something's off kind of way. Characters begin reflecting more, talking about purpose, choices, the future. Take The Decisions, for example. It's the episode where Richard, the most immature, least responsible character in the entire series, actually grows up. He gets a job, starts thinking about the future, starts changing.
One burger, please.
Sure, which one? Get the slaw crime. It's on promotion.
Okay, one slaw crime, I guess.
You ever thought about being a vet?
No, a plumber. I turned off the water supply, and it was all my idea.
Nice work, buddy.
But the bowl is still flooded.
That might not sound like a big deal, but this is a guy who once mistook himself for a potato. Seeing him develop, that's not just character growth, that's foreshadowing.
What do you think you're doing?
Or look at the future. It's a wild episode where Banana Joe sees how everyone's lives will turn out. It's chaotic, it's absurd, and it's packed with subtle endings. Characters are paired off, locked into patterns, or left facing strange destinies. The whole episode feels like the writers saying, here's what happens next, even if you never see it. Then there's the intelligence, where a supercomputer tries to take over Elmore and bring order to the chaos. Sound familiar? That's basically the plot of The Inquisition, the actual finale. Except, the intelligence ends with Elmore rejecting control and embracing weirdness. It's hopeful, it's rebellious, it's pure Gumball, but together, these episodes form a picture, a pattern, a goodbye. Even the characters start letting go.
Can we be of assistance in helping you to your vehicle?
So, what does your car look like?
It's me.
Hello? I think this thing is broken.
Nicole, the rock of the family, starts pulling back, giving her kids more freedom. Anais fades into the background, as if the writers knew her arc was already complete. Darwin stops being just a sidekick and starts questioning Gumball more.
As her friend, she takes over your mind, attaches herself to your body, and before you know it, she's turned you into a fungus thingy so she can release her spores, contaminate more people, and destroy civilization as we know it!
It's gonna take a lot to get noticed by these guys.
I know, they're pretty baller. Try and do a fly walk.
Oh, Mom, stop embarrassing me!
Oh, it burns!
My eyes!
What was that?
I don't know, paint?
They're not just being written differently, they're being phased out. It's like the show is saying goodbye, not with a bang, but with a whisper. Most animated series, especially the ones aimed at kids, end with a proper send-off, a celebration of what came before, some kind of narrative bow, a graduation, a montage, a final lesson. Even if it's silly or abstract, there's something that says, this is the end, and we knew it. Gumball didn't get that. It didn't have time, or permission, or maybe it just didn't want it. Instead, it ended the way the show lived, mid-chaos, mid-thought, mid-everything. And that makes it hurt more than if it had just wrapped up nicely. See? A clean ending gives you closure. It gives the characters a send-off. You can process it, move on, feel satisfied. But the Amazing World of Gumball didn't give us that. It gave us something far more real and far more painful: uncertainty. It's the feeling of reaching the last page of a book and finding it torn out, of watching someone walk out the door without saying goodbye, of realizing too late that the thing you love most is already over.
Life in the safety zone, but there's no medication for falling head over heels in love. Alan rushed over.
Just let me in! I'm sure we can talk.
And that's why this finale hit so hard. Not because it made us cry, but because it never told us we were supposed to. It slipped away quietly, casually, like it was just another episode.
Dude, are you nuts? I'm pretty sure you just punched a hole in the ozone layer, man.
I just want to smell my best for my date. What? With the new love of my life?
Carrie!
What?
Give me a gentle slap on the arm.
What was that for?
I got it all mixed up.
But underneath the weirdness and jokes, there's this hollow ache, like a conversation cut off too early. Like we were supposed to get one more line, one more laugh, one more scene.
I don't think pollution is that great at aging us.
Yeah, I don't feel much different.
Well, at least there are no side effects.
I don't know, I'm pretty sure I can hear your thoughts now.
And instead, we got silence. To make things even more confusing, a Gumball movie was teased almost immediately after the finale aired. Fans were buzzing. News outlets picked it up. Interviews hinted at it. Cartoon Network posted cryptic tweets. And for a while, we waited, excited, hopeful, convinced the real finale was just around the corner. Then, silence. Delays, budget shifts, network changes, years passed, and the longer it dragged on, the clearer it became. That silly cliffhanger might actually be the ending. And here's the kicker. That uncertainty, it's kind of poetic, because Gumball's story has always been about chaos, about refusing to follow the rules, about challenging what a show should be. So ending in the most unresolved way possible, weirdly, it fits. If you've made it this far, you already know that Gumball's finale wasn't just an unfinished joke, it was something far more layered. But the truth is, this ending didn't come out of nowhere. The emotional gut punch was hiding in plain sight the whole time.
No, I mean you can't do that because he's got a restraining order on us.
Now, what you do when you arrive in prison?
Because the Amazing World of Gumball was never really a show about randomness. That's just how it looked on the surface. Underneath the visual chaos and absurd comedy was something deeper, a quiet fear of growing up, a fear of losing childhood.
Who should I ship today? The sun was rising over Elmore.
A fear of change.
Rob!
But who's hiding behind this mask? Oh no, sorry.
Sorry, everyone. It is just Rob.
I did all this for a reason. Don't you understand what's going on?
A fear of being forgotten.
The reason I've been trying to transform you is because...
Every joke about time loops, every villain trying to impose order, every episode that ends with a reset button, it's all part of the same message. Nothing stays the same forever, and that's kind of terrifying. Gumball fights change constantly, whether it's Penny trying to embrace her true form, Darwin wanting to explore who he is, or Nicole trying to keep the family from falling apart. Gumball resists. He wants things to stay the way they are, because if things change, then they end.
And don't.
Well, at least Darwin is making his own decisions now.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'll be able to work off all the loose skin in no time.
What can I get you boys?
And the show lets him keep resisting, until it doesn't. In that final episode, Gumball is still talking, still trying to control the narrative, still cracking jokes, but for the first time in the entire series, his voice gets taken away, not by a villain, not by choice, but by time itself. It's the perfect metaphor. The show literally ends before he finishes his sentence. And if you've ever lost something without getting to say goodbye, you know how that feels. It doesn't hurt because of what was said, it hurts because of what wasn't. Gumball's silence at the end isn't just the absence of sound, it's the absence of closure. It's the cartoon version of a phone call dropped mid-laugh, the end of summer break, the last day of school. That one friend who just stopped showing up.
Ball's 6th season. At the end of the show, everyone discovers that Principal Evil was actually none other than Rob, who had somehow escaped the void and was trying to turn all Elmore Junior High students into real...
It reflects what makes real life hard. The fact that we don't always know when something is ending, until it already has. And maybe that's why this ending has stuck with so many fans, because it mirrors something we all go through. The friendship that drifts. The last hug you didn't realize was the last. The moment you grew up, without even noticing, Gumball didn't get a grand finale. It got cut off, it glitched, it faded, and that's exactly what makes it so real.
Have you ever tried whole grain bread? It's far better for you. Not everyone can afford organic stores, Herman. Maybe you should check your privilege. I just lost this voice of adventure weekend, and big people should be proud of who they are. Of course not. I mean, ask your doctor. He will tell you. Hey, why would you assume a doctor is he? Assume a woman can't be a doctor? What is this?
He made a good point.
In the end, Gumball was never just a cartoon about a talking blue cat. It was about the absurdity of growing up in a world that doesn't always make sense. It was about family, chaos, identity, and imagination. But mostly, it was about how hard it is to say goodbye.
Did you know the Amazing World of Gumball literally predicted the future? Way back in 2012, Gumball dropped an episode called The Uploads. And it's basically YouTube Shorts before YouTube Shorts even existed. The characters are obsessed with uploading short, random videos to the internet. Some are weird, some are viral, and almost all of them are pointless. Sound familiar? Then there's the episode The Society, where kids rank years before AI like ChatGPT even blew up. Gumball wasn't just a cartoon, it was low-key.
So no, the finale wasn't loud, or clean, or even satisfying.
Regular show ended in January 2017 in an epic space adventure that raised the stakes of the entire series. Adventure Time came to a close in September 2018.
But maybe that's what made it perfect. Because sometimes, the most heartbreaking endings are the ones that never say goodbye at all.
Do you know the continuation of the life story of Gumball, his family, and his friends from Elmore after the last episode of the 6th season? Yes, it exists! Well, if you haven't heard about it yet...
If this episode hit you harder now than it ever did as a kid, you're officially one of us. Subscribe for more Gumball deep dives, and let's keep this brilliantly weird universe alive, one breakdown at a time.